And it looks like we're live. Welcome, ladies. I have a few of you today. How are you?
Well, thank you. Good,
That's
thank you.
that's awesome. I think we are live. I'm hoping we're live. Sometimes there's a bit of a delay. But we're here today with the incredible Rima, Renée, and Aamena. I am so excited. We're talking about SQT, which is on everyone's lips. So before we start this incredible live, I would love you all to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about you, just a minute or so about, who you are, how you came into the beauty industry, and what company you're from as well. Renée, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Renée Altakrity. Both Layla, she's not here at the moment, but Layla and I are the master educators and distributors for SQT by Microneedling Australia. Layla and I have both been in the industry for a combined 25 years. You love what we do in clinic. We saw a little bit of a niche with SQT when we trialed it before anyone even heard of SQT. Or Spongilla Spicules or biomicroneedling, and we trialed it in clinic, absolutely loved it, and knew that we had to implement it here into Australia. So Layla and I have known each other through industry training together, and we always knew that we were connected from when we met. So we knew that we'd be drawn together in educators in the industry. We just didn't know where and what it was at the time. So we believe in that divine connection that brought us together, and here we are 2 years in. Over 240 clinics now in Australia have been trained using this revolutionary treatment. We've both got our clinics still, so we're both doing skin therapy, skin rejuvenation treatments in clinic. My focus has gone a little bit towards education because I absolutely love it. I love supporting the SQT team, which, growing strong, almost 250 clinics, which is great. So that's a bit about us. It's ever growing. We've got a natural product. We see SQT biomicroneedling being here for a really long time, not just a trend. And it's being talked about a lot in Australia and around the world at the moment. We're proud and honoured to be part of such an amazing product.
It is definitely a buzzword out there, and you're right, it's not just a trend. The results speak for themselves. I've spoken to Rima on many occasions about the incredible results. Rima, tell us a little bit about you, and also how you came to be in the beauty industry. I think that you're pretty well known in our industry by now as well.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. So I'm Rima Tenyon. I'm a mother of six. I was a stay-at-home mum, and I always believed in pampering myself, so I always would make that time for myself to go get treated. And then once I realized I would like to relay that information that I learned about skin onto my friends and my family, I just kind of became a little bit more curious. So I thought, I want to learn it, and I want to learn it firsthand. And then I enrolled, and then here I am today, clinic owner with over 800 clients on my database, sole trader pretty much. And I brought on SQT as soon as it hit the country. I met Renée, and she trained me immediately. So I was the first clinic in Sydney that was certified and trained. And every time I uploaded a photo about SQT, my booking system was flooded with the bookings because of just that photo of before and after with the one treatment. And like Renée said, it's not a trend. It is here to stay. It takes over so many of your regular treatments, and it's my wow factor. I love SQT. I love it.
Oh, I love hearing that too. And Aamena, tell us about yourself as well and how you came to be in the industry.
Yeah, hi everybody. It's an honor to be representing SQT today on this live. I am a huge fan, as Renée already knows. I tell anybody that will listen to me about SQT. I think my clients are sort of like, oh, here she goes again. But everybody I tell them about how amazing the results are because I've been in the industry over 10 years now. And I am a holistic and organic clinic, and all my treatments are offered around alternative treatments to Botox and filler. So I'm a big believer in holistic treatments. So I would never touch an acid skin treatment. It was something that I was very averse to. And I didn't have a pigmentation solution in my clinic. And it's so weird because, well, it's destiny, right? Because I just put it out there and I said to myself, oh, it's about 14, 15 months ago where I said to myself, I'm going to look for a natural skin treatment that's going to be results driven for my pigmentation clients, because it was the gap that was in my business. And lo and behold, I just stumbled across Renée, and we had a conversation, and I liked every single thing she said to me about it. The fact that it was naturally derived, the fact that there were no acids in the treatment, and I didn't have to worry about my clients having adverse reactions to the product or damaging the skin in any way. So I loved what I heard, and I just jumped on board, and I haven't looked back. So yeah, it's been something that's really turned my business around. We do anywhere between 20 to 40 treatments in a month. And we're selling packages like nobody's business. And we get a lot of people from ethnic backgrounds who are really afraid to do treatments and suffer from pigmentation and melasma. And unfortunately, in our industry, there's not a big understanding around melanated skin. And so my ads are working really well for me. For some reason, I'm attracting the whole of ethnic Australia because they see me, they see my face, and they go, I'll trust her. And they come to me because they're afraid. They've been sold laser treatments that haven't worked. They've been sold all sorts of peels that haven't worked, that has made their pigmentation worse. We put them on the right track. It's a no-nonsense approach. We don't try to sell. We just try to give them the best information and advice that we can. And SQT is a really good grounding treatment for any client, really, just to pick their skin up and improve the quality of the skin. And that's what I love about it.
Wow, the passion, what blows me away every time that I speak to anyone that uses or has SQT in their clinical salon. I'm talking passion to the point of obsession. And you know what? And it's because of the results, because I have seen some incredible before and afters where literally my eyes were bugging out of my head. I was like, I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Is this really just one treatment? Let's go right back to the start, because some people are going to be watching going, what in God's name is SQT? And I want some, because that's how I feel. But basically, they're Spongilla Spicules, right? And it's such a game-changing thing, but it's a natural thing. Renée, tell us, for those people that don't know what Spongilla Spicules are, what are they? How do they work?
Yeah, so to the naked eye, it actually just looks like a powder. Once you put that powder under microscope, if you jump onto our website or our socials, you can actually see a magnified view of the Spongilla spicules, and it actually simulates the look of a little sharp crystal rod. That's made of silica, so it's a siliceous biomicroneedle that's extracted from a freshwater sponge. So it's not a sea sponge, it's not an algae peel, it's not derived from the ocean or the seawater. It's a freshwater sponge. So the integrity of our spicules are a lot stronger and more robust than sea peels, herbal peels, etc. So we've got a patented technology. These sponges are actually collected from the freshwater. They're put in a far infrared drying oven for 60 hours. Then in a lab, they're actually delicately extracted, put into a little vial. We mix that vial in clinic with a 5-nectin essence, and we've also got some natural derived brightening and anti-acne serums that are mixed. We've got 4 sets in total, but not to confuse everyone, sticking to the Spongilla spicule itself. They're mixed with whatever skin concern the client has. They're mixed with that specific serum. Then it's applied to the skin. In training, we teach you how to safely apply it, to safely conduct thorough consultations with the client just to establish their needs and which set to use. It's pushed down into the skin through multiple techniques, which I mentioned toward in training, and that stimulates the microcell stimulation of the mother cells down at that basal layer. So we're actually getting to that dermis, epidermis junction. For 72 hours, these little salacious biomicroneedles are actually stimulating that collagen production. We're creating 3 to 5 million microchannels in the skin versus, say, traditional needling, where we're sitting at about 200,000. So we've got minimum 3 million microchannels. So our product absorbency is sitting at about 3,000% compared to traditional needling, which is at about 300 to 500%. So all of our clients are reporting, the increased hydration. We're actually thickening the epidermis by up to 8%, increasing the function of the hydrolipid barrier function as well. So, it's not only the skin tightness, we're working with fine lines, acne. We can treat acne-prone clients as well with one of our sets. So, gone are the days where a client walks in and, they're covered in acne or pimples and we can't actually do traditional needling, or say they might have a darker Fitzpatrick where they're not suitable for a chemical peel. We can literally, I've never turned anyone away in my clinic with a treatment, because SQT covers all ethnicities, Fitzpatrick 1 to 6. We are covering all skin conditions, concerns from rosacea, dehydration, fine lines, acne, pigmentation, melasma, and we're actually getting really good results, within 1 to 3 treatments, so that the client doesn't feel discouraged. They feel a lot of our clinics, one thing they say is, I can't believe the client retention that we're getting after having SQT, because they actually want to come back. So you do feel, going back to the treatment process, it's a short process time. You're looking at 15 minutes of application on the skin, so it's a very quick treatment. And the clients are happy with that, because not only we live in such a world of, people want things as of yesterday. They don't want to be waiting 3 months, 2 months, even 1 month or 1 week. They actually want to see results really quickly. And we're moving into a world where we're focusing on more natural treatments. People are stepping away from the injectables, and I think, that was mine and Layla's passion. Wow, this is natural. Like, this is going to tick the boxes of most people, because it is natural. You don't have to worry about the harmful chemicals and acids. There is no needles. So for the clients who actually are scared of needles or a machine or a device, there is none of that in clinic. It's needling at your fingertips, or liquid needling. So all done, by hand technique, which is great.
I love that. And actually, there's so much to be said for, a therapy where you're putting your hands back on the client, right? Because you're getting that therapeutic exchange of energy as well, which you cannot underestimate. And it does now scientifically proven effects of the touch and what you can do by lowering someone's blood pressure, by lowering their cortisol levels and everything, by actually being a therapist, being what you are, using the touch. Rima, like you said, you're one of the very first ones that brought SQT into your actual salon. Tell us what actually inspired you to take on this treatment. What was the reasoning behind I know that Aamena was looking for something natural. What were you looking for?
So I wanted something that was not offered around me or anywhere near me. I wanted something that was going to make, if you came to Illuminate Skin, you're coming for a treatment that nobody else had. So I needed a point of difference on my treatment menu, and I needed it to be something that I would be able to offer for all Fitzpatrick, and at the same time on a more natural side, because since COVID, everyone is now more attracted to whatever is less aggressive, less ablative, and also still give them the result that would give them had they had done something like this. So I wanted to look into that, and when I came across Renée, it was like it ticked the boxes. It was, no one had it, no one had any idea what it was. Telling my clients what SQT was like, they'd look at you, go, but how does it work? And I'm like, literally just like that. And they're like, but how many times do you need to do it? I'm like, just do the one, and then you'll see. You will book your next appointment. And I've never had, like, I had a rosacea acne client come in, 18-year-old boy, and his photos on my page, he was like, my mum has taken me to like at least 50 clinics and they've made my skin worse. Can you help me? I done SQT on him. And when I tell people I done SQT on rosacea acne, their face is just like, they already have a weakened barrier. And I'm like, wait till you see him on day 10. His photos are on my page. On day 10, we've gone from flared red to there's an undertone pink in one treatment. I'm obsessed with it. My clients are obsessed with it.
Didn't you, sorry, Rima, just quickly, didn't you see someone that had had it done? I think I was
Yes.
there training. Yeah,
That-
I was
yep.
there because
And that's when I came. Yep.
Yeah. Rima saw someone's face outside of her clinic at a barbecue or something. And she said, what have you, I think that's from memory. I mean, it was
Yep.
2 years ago, but yeah.
Yep. And then that's when I got in contact with Renée, and I went to where she got me trained and never looked back. It is definitely a treatment that I really genuinely believe every clinic should offer. It is for everybody. It's a no-brainer for all ages. I've got teenagers that are coming in, and you know, there's that acne starting to come through, that block comedones, and it's like you do that one treatment and it's like they come back to you, and even you'll be like, I might not see them again. They've got glass skin.
Oh, wow, really? You know, that's funny how,
yeah.
Renée, you said you saw, so Rima saw. So I actually found out about SQT because I saw Rima's before and after on her feed.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I know. I'm like, that is not possible. And then I had a look at your description and you said SQT certified. And then I actually inboxed her through Instagram saying, what is SQT and what is going on here? What are these before and afters? And she put me on to you, Renée. And actually now SQT are incredible members of ABIC. Like, thank you so much for joining, you know, at such a high level. And thank you so much for supporting the industry. I mean, you know, I think you guys are you're not a startup, but you're established, but you're, you know, in that period of growth that you are at the moment. And to actually you know, donate such a large donation to the, you know, benefit of the community and benefit of the industry is such a huge thing. I mean, thank you so much. And thank you on behalf of all clinic owners as well, because you subsidize a lot of the HR advice and a lot of the services that we give to our clinic members as well through your incredible donation. So what made you want to become part of ABIC as well? It's such a, you know, kind of pivotal time in your growth.
Yeah, look, I think, Steph, good question. We feel that there's always going to be changes in the industry. And it was actually Rima who, you know, pointed me out to you guys as well. Have you seen ABIC? Have you seen the changes in the industry that are coming? We represent, you know, okay, it's 240 odd clinics, but we really feel with changes coming, we speak for a lot of different therapists, whether we've got doctors that are trained, we've got nurses, we have skin therapists, beauty therapists, dermal clinicians. We really want to be able to support them when these changes do come. We want to be able to be that one main voice for such a large amount of clinics in the industry. And we feel that with our networking, we can really pull people together and bring them to attention of what the changes are, what's happening, and how much their voice actually matters. So that's why and you guys have been, you know, really good support for us as well, helping us with different things along the way, being a newer business. You know, Steph, with your years experience, it's been, you know, helpful having you guys in our corner as well.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, thank you so much. And I mean, it's such a meaningful live today because we always talk with people in our community about, you know, not just, hey, this is a product you can buy, but about, no, this is a partner that you can grow your business with. This is a partner you can grow with. And it's all about community when we're talking about that. And I know that means a lot to you as well, Aamena, as part of the community. And you know, how is it partnering with such an incredible, I mean, the level of support that SQT, Renée, and the team give you, how is it partnering with them?
You know, I used to be part of a franchise, and I have to say that that was the most soul-crushing time of my life.
Yeah.
And when I stepped out of it, I promised myself that I would make sure that I stayed authentic to what I wanted to do for people within this industry. And when I met Renée, her authenticity shines through. You know, she's there about it's not just about how much you can sell. Like with any company that you deal with, it's always about the money. And this was definitely not that. It was more about, well, what can we do to improve our clients' skin? You know, how are we going to work together to not only grow our businesses, but actually make a difference to people's skin? And so that's what sticks. And, you know, I think the biggest thing that people need to take away from today's live is that this is a disruptor in the industry. This is next generation microneedling. Like, throw your devices away and just go straight to SQT, because who wants to fuss around with devices and disposables when you can just go to such a simple product that gives you and delivers the results that your clients are looking for. So, you know, any time of the day or night, if I have a question, you know, I reach out to Renée and I get an answer like that. So I never got that from the franchise that I was in. I was always treated like another, like, part of this wheel that I was in. And yeah, never been made to feel that way with SQT. I feel like when I've got feedback, they listen. When I need help, they're there. And it's really refreshing to find people in the industry that are authentic. So thank you, Renée.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I feel the same way. I mean, just when meeting you and your team, I was blown away by the real meaning and when you say authenticity, that's the word, you know, that you're looking for when you're dealing with this incredible company. But it's not, doesn't even feel like a company. It feels like it feels like a family of passionate skin scientists that are just there trying to, you know, get you to get great results for your clients. You talked to Mina about throw away your devices. I've heard that so many times that some clinics are becoming SQT specialized, they just offer almost this one treatment. Tell me, how does it compare? I mean, because I'm used to having lasers in my clinic, I'm used to having the whole lot, you know, injectables, and it's hard to keep up. And then the results, you're like, you know, sometimes it hits the mark and sometimes it doesn't. I'm talking about as well melasma and recalcitrant pigment. You know, we're talking about dermal pigment that rebounds, and you have to be very careful if you're using heat and you want to use photoacoustic, but you know, doing so many treatments and you're lowering the heat level and you're combining with peels, and it's a mess because you're always scared that you're going to have rebound pigment. How is it compared? How does SQT compare to that process, I suppose?
Well, are you asking the question to
Yeah,
me?
yeah. I mean,
I feel like, you know, I can confidently, I know like all my staff have been trained, right? I can confidently walk out of my clinic and they can treat my clients without me having to worry about something going pear-shaped. And before I met Renée, I was actually looking at pico lasers for pigmentation, because like I said, that was the gap in my business. And I was so nervous about not so much myself, because I've got my laser certification, but bringing staff on and having people at different skill levels, and even with extra training. You know, I've always got this thing in the back of my mind: are they doing the treatments like the way I would? And I'm really careful with everything that I do with my clients. And so that was a bit, and you know, an $80,000, $100,000 investment in laser machines and things like that. When this was a walk in the park, it was so easy to just enter the SQT world. I didn't have to take out huge loans or anything like that, and I got started pretty much straight away. In fact, when I met Renée, it was leading up to Christmas last year, and I was trying to get the training booked in before, but we were so busy we just could not find a day, so we had to book it for early Jan. And I went to my marketing team and I said to them, I'm bringing this amazing treatment in and we need to tell the world about it. And we started our promotions end of November, start of December. And by the time we did the training with Renée in the first week of January 2024, we had booked out January and February. And so this is how incredible this treatment is. Like, I didn't, you know, once you talk to people, so many people, and I know I keep talking about pigmentation because that was the hole in my business, but it does so much more. You know, it does deal with anti-aging and acne scarring and, you know, hydration levels and so many other things. But for me, that was my reason for stepping into SQT. And when I found, like when I was talking to clients initially about it, as soon as I said no devices, as soon as I said no lasers, as soon as I said no needles, everybody was like, yes, tell me more. I want to book for this, because people have been so, I guess, disappointed with device-based treatments in the past. Because yes, it's hard to, I guess, as an industry body as well, it's hard to monitor or regulate that side of things, because every state is different. You know, I had a client who came in completely, like her barrier function was completely messed up, because she went to another clinic and they'd done laser treatments, and 2 weeks later did microneedling, and then 2 weeks later did an acid peel, and she was just red raw and crying. You know, she saw my ad and she wasn't a client of mine. She came into me crying, and like I was fully booked that day. I couldn't see her, but it was my break and I sat with her. And that's when I realized how bad this is in our industry, with this clinic telling her on that very day to come back for another acid peel. And I was like, please don't touch your skin. You just need to heal. And so we have an industry that's a bit rogue right now. And this is something that's going to really settle things down in certain areas where people can confidently apply a treatment for different things that are going on in the skin, but they can do it safely and with confidence. And I think that's the key thing for me.
Mm-hmm. So you talked about we're talking about we're talking about pigmentation, we're also talking about the gamut. So this particular treatment is a holistic treatment. You don't just put it on and then there's, you know, an improvement in one condition. The whole every condition, the whole skin is rejuvenated and healed. Rima, tell me about some success stories that you've had with full you know, global, I suppose, rejuvenation.
With my clients, I've had women that have come to me with Fitzpatrick 5 skin and melasma that was like literally smeared on from ear to ear. And so I use my skin analysis always just to see how deep that pigment is.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, it does also produce for you in the back end skin age report. With her courses of SQT, not only has it lightened her melasma so much, it had taken off 7 years off her skin analysis report. So obviously we do correct skincare. So we make sure, you know, they're on a better home care kit. But it's taken off 7 years in the 1 year of her being an Illuminate client. Then I've got results where I've had clients come in and say to me, I don't believe in Botox. I don't believe in fillers, and I'm sick of my crow's feet. I'm sick of my Wi-Fi lines. Get rid of them. And I'm like, SQT. And I remember this particular client was like, I'm a single mum. I have a lot of kids. I get no assistance. So if I'm giving you my money, please be mindful that I have children to feed. I need something to fix my skin. And I'm like, I'm doing you SQT. And even though I do charge a little bit more, I actually did it for her for free because I really wanted her to trust me when I do a treatment for you. So when she came back in, I always get my client to come back in after 2 weeks so we can, like, you know, do a before and after photo, give the chance for the skin to like calm down and show us the best that it's got. When she came in, instantly she was like, I have no words for you. I've been stopped by everybody saying to me, you do Botox now? And I'm like, no. See, I still get frown lines and expression lines, but it's the SQT. So anti-aging, 100%. I've had pigment where we've had like clients that genuinely would have gone for IPL laser. And I've showed you the photo, Steph, where literally like 80% of those freckles were gone with the one treatment of SQT. Acne, I've had so many clients come to me with like active acne and I'll say SQT and they'll be like, oh no, but isn't it going to spread the bacteria? And I'm like, we're not talking about microneedling. We are talking bio microneedling. We're going natural. And then if you look at their skin before and after like 3 sessions, they have beautiful mattified skin with almost zero scarring. I've had clients with rolled scars. The collagen that gets reproduced in these areas is insane. There's so much more pumping. A very prominent dermatologist in our community, when I showed him before and afters of SQT at Cosmeticon, was arguing with me about an ablative laser. And I said to him, I have no ablative lasers. And he goes, that's impossible. And I said to him, it is, it's SQT. But he was actually blown away by it. So, and this is a dermatologist. Even another clinic, we were also talking about SQT. And she was downset that this is a laser that I'm hiding. And I said, it's not, it's SQT.
Just
Yeah.
dashing the laser
Yeah.
in the back.
I'm like,
And just to
I'm
add
like,
to
I'm not paying $200,000 for a machine. Like,
And just
honestly,
to add to what Rima just said, like you can add this to your menu of services so easily, because I often do a client a full face HIFU with an SQT on the same day, and the results that they get are just amazing.
yeah.
So, you know,
Combination
don't
therapy,
forget
love
that you can
Yes.
combine this with treatments very
Yes.
safely.
And there's no risk of infection. We're not breaking the skin. The skin is staying intact. So when people say, oh, but compromised skin barriers and, you know, risk of infection, so we can do pregnant and breastfeeding women, because we're not breaking the
Exactly.
skin. It's a natural product. We've had no anaphylaxis, no reactions to the product, no, you know. So for me, when I've got a drawer full of chemical peels that I haven't used in over 2 years, it's because every client walks in, I don't feel comfortable doing chemical peels anymore. My signature treatment in clinic used to be PRF microneedling, the platelet-rich fibrin, so second generation PRP. Amazing. I thought that was the B's and E's of everything, because it's natural.
Yeah, I
Its own blood.
think it is.
Yeah, it's 4 times better growth factors and stem cells than PRP. So that was my signature treatment. I was doing anywhere in between 180 and 100 between 3 states. And, you know, I've done 47, 48 in 2 years. And that's only because people just didn't want to risk peeling, or they had something on and they didn't want to, you know, have, because we do peel. Most clients do peel after, especially their first treatment. So yeah, that's the only reason why, because they weren't, you know, comfortable. They had social events. But to move from such a big number of PRF microneedling treatments to only have done under 50 in 2 years, that's kind of where we're sitting at. You know, there's no device. You're not sitting there spending thousands on a device. Layla, the other educator and distributor down in Melbourne, she's, you know, went and got a loan for this new Butte laser machine. And she said, Renee, that was the worst decision I have ever made. I haven't hardly used it. It's sitting there collecting dust, and I'm having to pay $300-400 a week off on the loan. And most of our clinics who do come on board, Steph, they're literally reordering. I trained Dunya from her studio in Sydney. It was last Sunday, and within a week she was ordering more boxes. And so she'd gone through, sold out her opening order, and she was ordering more boxes within 1 week. So our clients are quickly, you know, just recovering that, you know, certification and opening order really quickly, and they're getting that ongoing support as well. So we've actually got, when you asked Aamena about, you know, the support afterwards, we've actually got a quarterly SQT Zoom catch-up that we do. We record it for those who can't attend, and we've also got a WhatsApp group rolling, and we're on there every day, responding, sharing protocols between each other. Each quarter we do a targeted thing, so we might have, you know, industry changes. The one you joined us, Steph. We might have, you know, a segment on pigmentation, one on acne, one on scarring, using supplements in clinic, how we can better support our clients. So we're not just about SQT, we're all industry professionals, doctors, nurses, dermal therapists, beauty therapists, coming together and sharing what's worked best in our clinic, what products we've used alongside different treatments. So it's a platform to only grow, and it's that family feeling. Like, we're not all here trying to outdo each other, and there's no egos attached. We're all here just saying, how can I help educate you with my knowledge? How can you help me with your knowledge? So, you know, we've all grown so much with our knowledge in the industry, and not just with the treatment, but with everything. Like, I didn't know much about, you know, supplements and whatever. So we've all sort of shared things on those group chats. So it's been really beneficial outside of the actual treatment.
Yeah, I love hearing that. You know, when everyone's talking, I think to myself, and I know that every therapist watching this is going to be thinking, what's the difference? I microneedle with my microneedling device, or I'll laser someone's skin. I know that, you know, melanin is you're heating up the pigment, and then it's being reabsorbed, and you know, macrophages are coming in and removing that, you know, heated up, essentially removed or dead pigment now. What is actually the function of the spicules? What happens? Why is it so much more effective? The spicules go into the skin. I know you press them in, you rub them in. They stay in there for a period of time, right? Before your skin
Yeah.
expels them.
Up
Is
to
that the
72
difference?
hours. Yeah, so it's a multifaceted approach, and I'd love to just wrap it up in one, but you just can't. So the multifaceted approach is it's the desquamation process of the cells, the corneocytes on the outside. That's through our technique. Then you've got the intrinsic factor. So it's like a scaffolding of collagen over those 72 hours. When we put a traditional microneedling in the skin, we're risking infection because we're breaking the skin. You've got to mess around with your sharps containers. We don't have any of that. We're no need for sharps containers or needles or devices, as we mentioned. So what's happening is when those siliceous bioneedles are sitting down at that basal layer, that's stimulating that collagen production and cell proliferation for up to 72 hours. Whereas when a normal microneedling channel gets created, it's happening there and then on the spot. Yes, there's a wound heal response, but with SQT, that's being accelerated over that 72-hour window where the spicules are actually in there. So when after treatment, if you touch your face, you can actually feel the spicules in the skin. So over those coming days, what happens is the body does one of two things, and that's they slowly, like a foreign object, push the spicules out. And the second thing is, as the corneocytes fall off, the spicules come out with it. So, you know, we're getting increased epidermal thickness by up to 8% after a series of 3 treatments. All those corneocytes are being desquamated off the epidermis, so we're getting that nice, soft, supple skin, that youthful skin. And then it's also working intrinsically with the mother cells, so it's basically, you know, we're getting that hydration, it's, you know, it's getting rid of that pigmentation and melasma, so it's helping healthy cells rejuvenate. Yeah, quite incredible process, but we've got cell turnover happening within 7 days, unlike traditional needling or other devices and treatments, it's 28 days, so it's a 7-day cell turnover. So we get our clients back in normally within a 7 to 10 day period for their after photos.
Wow. And you said basal layer, so stratum basale, but you're not dermal. Did you go epidermal double junction, or does it go into the dermis?
Absolutely. It goes to when we've done ultrasound and biopsies, it's actually reaching the dermis, and that again comes back to training. It's how the pressure, how hard our pressure is. We've got so many things we're working with. The client's skin condition, is it thin skin, thick skin? How hard do we need to go? Which obviously we teach in training. So depending on your pressure is and the length of treatment, we don't go over 15 minutes of application. That will depend on the depth of the spicules. And these spicules are so microscopic in size, they're actually half the size of your pore. So the spicules are actually pushed into the pores of the skin.
Wow,
it's honestly
that
such
is
a game changer treatment. Like even one of the educators in industry for corneotherapy, I know if I have something coming up, I really like to get an SQT done and have my peeling process have finished. So when I attend this event, it's like my forehead looks like there's like a beaming light coming out of it from the SQT. So this trainer for corneotherapy goes to me, what have you done? Why are you so shiny? There's nothing on your skin. And I said, I've done SQT, and I tell her a little bit about it. And she's like, I train in corneotherapy, but I really want to try this.
Yeah, look, I mean,
it's such an impressive treatment. It's such an impressive treatment.
The only thing that I can say to anybody that's watching right now is go and have a session on your own skin.
Absolutely.
Because once you experience it, everything, like, you don't have, everything doesn't have to make sense straight away, but when you understand what your clients are going to receive, and that's going to be your deciding factor for you. I went overseas recently. I went back to South Africa because I'm from South Africa. I went to visit my family, and every single person asked me, "What are you doing to your skin? You're glowing." And I don't wear any foundation. I wear a bit of blush and a bit of eyeliner, and they were just blown away by my skin. And I looked for SQT in South Africa because I didn't take any bottles with me. And yeah, it's just everywhere. Everybody you meet, everyone that sees your skin comments on it. So that's your feedback. Even your clients are getting feedback on their own skin, and they'll tell you when they come in, you know, my husband said this, or my auntie said that, or my cousin said, my neighbor said, you know, like, it's just incredible.
What about skin laxity? Do you have any
Yes. Lifting, yeah, absolutely. The anti-aging kit is amazing for
really?
lifting.
Because
Yes.
I keep saying, everybody who watches my lives will go, oh, she's banging on about her skin laxity again. I lost a little bit of weight, not even a lot, a little bit of weight, and my face fell apart. I'm like, oh, well, now I'm going to have to do some kind of, you know, threads or whatever, facelift.
We've got you covered with anti-aging.
Really? Oh, I love hearing that. How does it work on skin laxity, Renee?
Yeah, so again, it's that cell proliferation, it's the dividing of the cells, the development of healthy new cells. So we've got the anti-aging set. There was 4 sets, and anti-aging targets the firmness and rejuvenation of lax skin. It's not going to give you results like you'd get going under the knife, but it's still falling within a great result and a natural treatment. So yeah, people love it for skin tightening. I use that one mainly on my more mature clients. Not saying you're mature, Steph, but you've got those,
I own it.
those concerns that you're wanting to address. So for example, I use it on my mum. She's got a little bit of glycation happening around the mouth, and that laxity starting to, it's already been happening for a number of decades, but it's amazing. And she does her dance classes on it twice a week to stay fit. And the ladies at her dance class look and say, Narelle, what are you doing to your skin? What have you done? Oh, you've got to go see my daughter. If she can get you in, you have to go. So it's I don't do any paid advertising. I get people from random places. I mean, Penny, who's
You get people from your mum. It's brilliant.
Honestly, even with the anti-aging kit, I've got a mature age client, so she's 65 years old. When she started to come in, she was coming in because her daughter was doing the Revitalize SQT set. And then so mum comes in, and mum's 65. She's got a lot of that laxity happening. And then I started to treat her with our anti-aging kit. And then one day she comes in, she's due for her 4th one. She's looking incredible. Her photos are on the page. And she gets to me, Rima, I have to tell you something. I said, tell me. She goes, I had a WhatsApp call with a cosmetic surgeon in Turkey. She goes, 1 year ago, I booked this appointment because I'm going to Turkey in a couple of months to have a facelift. She goes, when he saw my face, he said, you don't need a facelift. And I said, you're right. I have Rima. And if you just say, honest to God, if you see her before and after photos in the 4 treatments of having the anti-aging SQT done for her, she's gone from having droopy cheeks, the jowls, everything. This woman has no Botox, no filler, and it's just lifted her face back up. There's more of that natural jawline happening. And then I was just like, I'm so happy, because she was mentally prepared to go in under the knife for a facelift, and just through doing her back-to-back anti-aging SQT is no longer doing that anymore. So
oh my goodness, you need to send me this before and after.
she looks, not just that, like, poor thing had like a lot of old pitted scarring, and her cheeks are just more like volumized. Like, she looks beautiful. And
And
that's what,
you have to remember with this is that microneedling, traditional microneedling, is what we used to call in the old days, and some people still refer to it as collagen induction therapy. So we know with our traditional microneedling that we're, increasing collagen production. Now we're going from microneedling, which is 250,000 channels opening up in the skin, to 3.5 million channels opening up in the skin. We're getting incredible amount of collagen induction happening in the skin as well. So
Yeah.
we have to look at our skin as a living organ, and when we're treating ourselves for anything, whether it's laxity or pigmentation or whatever, we need to understand what our treatments are doing, and we incorporate this within our skin plans because we know that we can take a client from here to here. You know, we always ask a client, you know, rate your skin from 0 to 10, and they give us a number from 5 or under, because they're highly critical of themselves. And we say to them, we can get you to a 10, but we need commitment of 6 months because we know we need to do several treatments
Absolutely.
of SQT, and we also have to combine it with other treatments and change their skincare. And that's how we get results for clients.
And we can actually, sorry, Mina, just on that, we can actually do the treatments as manufacturer says within, 7-8 days apart.
Yep.
We generally here in Australia work on about a 2 to 4 week time frame, but we can actually get them in quicker. And
Yep.
with having said that about the actual condition of the skin, we're all slapping these expensive products on our faces with no real penetration. So the actual spicule, if you look under it under a microscope, it's like a straw. So it's actually drinking in all those expensive serums now that you're putting on the skin. It is like a straw with a mesh around it, so you're getting ultimate absorption. It's not blocking the pore when it's in there, it's actually drinking it in. So that's why people say my hydration is phenomenal after treatment. And the good thing is those, if you wanted to use a peptide, some collagen or growth factors, exosomes on top, you can put them in and get amazing product absorption, 3,000% better than.
Well, the 3 days too, right? Because it's 72 hours that they're in
Correct.
there. So for the next 3 days, it's drinking in whatever you're putting on your
Yeah.
skin, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. You said you can have it every 7 to 8 days. The first time you peel, the second and third time, are you peeling less? Is that what's happening? Because
Yes. You don't
are you in
have
perpetual
the
peel?
cornea sites there. Yeah, most treatments, the cornea sites will, desquamate in the first treatment, unless that's really aged, matured skin being totally neglected from the client. So we cover all that in consultation, and that might determine how far apart. Again, everyone's skin's so different. Someone might need a treatment as early as 2 weeks. Someone could probably be stretched out to 3 or 4 if they've got more thin skin types. And then we change up our technique to safely carry out the treatment on specific skins. So, but we can do it. Manufacturer says, so if I was going to be doing a body area, and we can do it on all parts of the body. We've done armpits, we've done stomachs, scarring. It works amazing for scarring. We've actually got doctors on board, cosmetic surgeons that use it. They're nurses or beauty therapists use it for post-surgery scars as well. So it's
We've
not
done
just
knees, underarms, backs,
groins.
feet.
My
legs.
husband's knees.
Love
I've
it for back knee.
My husband needs.
Yeah.
I love that. And one more question about the actual treatment results. Pore size. How is very difficult to treat.
Amazing. Like it minimizes them so much. My clients go from looking like you can fit sprinkles in them to
Yeah.
like they're so almost completely blurred out. It is amazing. It is amazing.
Right. I love hearing all of this. And now if somebody is watching this and thinking, I need to do this, I need to bring this into my, I want to find out more. Renée, tell us, what's the process of, getting a client certified, a clinic certified, or bringing this wonderful product into their clinical salon?
Yeah, so look, the potential clinic needs to obviously be beauty therapist, minimal background, and we've got right up to doctors as well. So providing they've got that industry experience, they're more than welcome to explore partnership with us. We would suggest that you go to the website. So it's www.sqtaustralia.com.au. If you just fill in a form on that website, Penny, who's also my lovely sister, she'll be in touch with you, and we can organise, I'm pretty sure she still does like a bit of a Zoom meeting to see if we're the right fit, because we do want the right fit people on board with SQT who align with our values. Then she runs through what's included, what's involved, training and certifications Steph, is very straightforward. Once Penny's done that onboarding, you're up and running literally within half a day. So that's including your theory training, your practical training, certification, and then you're ready to go.
We did our training in the morning and we had 4 clients after Renée left.
Oh, wow. You really were very proactive. You can start advertising. You know, when you're bringing in when I'm bringing in a treatment to my clinic, I always start advertising and generating bookings before I even like get the training. But to be honest, we're doing a launch for a while through through all the training process and getting all the, you know, documentation up to speed, getting your consent forms, all that. You know, I'm generating interest where we're booking in clients. So the minute that you actually invest in that very first treatment package, which you get a lovely box with, you know, several treatments in it. I think for your opening order, is that right, Renée?
You get 16 treatments in a standard opening order. If you've got a bigger clinic like Aamena with the number of staff, then it's recommended to take 32. Otherwise, you're just going to be ordering, you know, within a week or two, like Aamena. You're going to go through your products too quick. So we just assess how big the clinic is, and we advise. But the minimum opening order is 16 treatments.
Perfect.
And also, Steph, we have a service agreement as well. So, you know, just where we have, it's an exclusive treatment. We don't want it to become like microneedling, not the results wise, but as far as I think a lot of clinics started competing against each other and playing off against each other with price. You know, back in the day, microneedling was $300 to $500 a treatment, and now you see it advertised for $99. That will not happen with SQT. We do have a service agreement where you know, we ask all of our clinics to stick within a certain price range, so you know that you're just retaining your clients and the clinic next door is retaining their clients. So there's no people shopping around for who's got the better price. We're all literally at a level playing field.
Really?
So that way we're keeping it exclusive, and that we're not diminishing and, you know, ruining that exclusive integrity that we have.
I love everything you're saying, and I'm sure
Also, just on one more,
yes.
sorry. So just on one more note about SQT, what also wins over a new client, especially when they're coming in with pigmentation, as you know, a lot of clinics would rely on heat-based devices to do these treatments in the cooler months so that, you know, they don't get that adverse effect and develop more hyperpigmentation. SQT is that one treatment that can be done all year round, back to back. And you know you're not going to compromise the skin's integrity. You know you're not going to put the skin at risk of post-inflammatory pigment. And when you educate the client into how PIH comes into the picture, straight away it's a no-brainer for them. SQT is always going to be the answer.
And the acid mantle too, the acid mantle isn't interfered with, like it stays intact, and that's really important.
Yep.
Especially we're dealing with now a lot of holistic naturopath based you know, clinics, corneotherapy, so that the acid mantle stays intact, which is another great factor as well. Ticks all the boxes. I don't know how many more, you know.
I don't know how many boxes, yeah. But and especially now what you said, Rima, going like into summer, you know, it is the perfect time as well. You know, you don't have to wait until, you know, until winter. Ladies, thank you so much for coming and sharing such an incredibly informative live and educational session on Spongilla Spicules. It is really a revolution. We are so lucky to have you as SQT, as wonderful ABIC members, and yourself as well, Rima and Aamena. Thank you so much for supporting the industry.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Steph. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you to the SQT family, or all those out there that are watching SQT clinics, especially you, Rima and Aamena. I really appreciate your support.
Thank you so much.
Always.
Please come back. I'd love to do this again. It's so fun. Maybe we'll do a podcast next time. But in the meantime, thanks everyone for watching, and you have a wonderful day.
Thanks, ladies.
You too.
Bye, everyone.
Enjoy your weekend.
Bye.
Bye.